Hi, I'm Ashley from Sunny Made, and we are on block 7 of our free block series. Hello friends, I'm glad you're here. We are on block 7 of our free block series, and it's time for us to make another block. Let me show you what it's going to look like. This is our free block. Okay, we have our light color, we have our contrasting color, we have our bright color, and we have our background color. I will get all of those pieces and what you need, they're down in the description box below. Now also make sure that you stick around to the end of the video, and I will show you our bright colored one that I make that looks almost like this. And so let's get over to the cutting mat and get started. Okay, here are our pieces. We need a light, a bright, and our contrasting fabric and our background. This is 16 1.5 by 2 inches, which is A. 1 5.25 inches square, which is B. C is 1.5 inches square, 4 of them. Yeah, sorry, I had to look at my paper real quick. C. D is 1.5 by 2 inches. You need 4 of those. 1.5 inch square for E. F, you need 2 5.25 inches. G, 20 of your background, 2 inches square, and H is 5.25 inches square. Okay, so first, what do we want to do? We are going to set aside all of these little pieces, and we're going to start with making our quarter square triangles. And we're just going to make this the super quick and easy way. I will show you, I do have a video on how to do them, the 3 colorway, and I'll make sure and put that in the description. Okay, with our contrasting fabric, we're going to flip these over. We're going to draw a line down the middle. And with our 4 squares, we're going to end up with 4 quarter square triangles. Whoops, got to be able to see that. My pen might be running out. Okay, we're going to place these on top of each of these, and we are going to sew them like we would 2 at a time, half square triangles. Okay, once you have them sewn, I iron them open towards our contrasting fabric on all of them, and you will have 2 of the light and the contrasting fabric and 2 of our background and contrasting fabric. So you're going to take 1 from each set. Okay, if the flag is up on this one, the flag is down. We're going to do it so the seam is going that same direction. If you look and you pull it back, you have that quarter square triangle, just how we want it. We want the flags opposite, the background, and that light blue. So what we're going to do is I'm going to make sure that those seams are nested, and that's why we make sure and iron them always towards the same fabric, because then they'll nest beautifully. I'm going to pin it, and then I'm going to take my tool, my ruler, I'm going to line it up the seam here with a line on my ruler. And what that's going to allow me to do is make sure and make that beautiful 90-degree angle in the center. And then I once again draw that line. Okay, and then I'm going to sew down each side, cut it open, cut it on the line, and then iron them open. And we will then trim them to 4.5 inches square. Okay, so this is how our quarter square triangle looks after I've sewn down each side and cut it down the middle. And because I lined up those seams here, when I fold it back, it gives me that beautiful point in the middle. And here are my other 3 pieces. You'll end up with 4 of them. And then we're just going to take our ruler and we're going to trim these to get it going the right direction so I can see it, to 4.5 inches. And we are going to end up with 4 of them. And they will be all, the first step is all ready for our quilt block. Okay, so we have our 4 quarter square triangles. Next, we are going to make some 9 patches. And we're going to do that with all these other pieces. We're going to make 4 that look the same and 1 that looks slightly different, but is still going to lay out the same way. So we have, let's start with the 4 that look the same. We have our bright 1.5 inch square in the center. We are then going to put a light blue coming out from each edge. Okay. And then we're going to take G. So these are the 1.5 by 2.5, or 1.5 by 2 inches. Then we're going to take our G, and they are going to end up in the corner. So I'm going to sew each row together. I'm going to press towards my light blues on every row, and then I'm going to sew those rows together. Our other one is going to look just like this, but we have our contrasting fabric in the middle, which is E. We're going to put our bright fabric on each corner. Oh, get it going the right direction. And then a G in each corner. And once again, as we sew this together, I'm going to iron towards my bright fabric. Okay, when you're done, you're going to have 1 that looks like this and 4 that look like this. If you would like to trim these up, these are also 4.5 inch squares. I've got a lot of strings on here that I didn't get trimmed off, so I will probably hit these with my ruler and get them trimmed up so they are nice and square. And now that we have all of our pieces ready, it is time for us to put our block together. So this one is going to be our center. These ones are going to sit in our corners. Oops. Yeah, I definitely need to trim these up. And then our quarter square triangles are going to go with our light blue facing out and our background fabric facing in. Okay, I'm going to sew them in rows, pressing towards my corner and center pieces. Okay, I'm going to press towards these crosses. And then I'm going to sew the rows together and trim to 12.5 inches. Okay, and here is our finished product. Look how pretty that looks. The last thing we're going to do is just trim this up. It should be 12.5 inches by 12.5 inches square, just like all our other blocks. It looks pretty close. We're going to give it just a little bit of trim to make sure that it will be able to fit with the rest of my blocks. And it would help if I actually lined it up right. Okay, here we are, all done, all ready to go. Our block, what do you think of it? How do you like it? How did your quarter square triangles turn out? I do have videos for 3-color quarter square triangles and how to trim quarter square triangles. So I will make sure I put those down in the description box below. I will get all the cut pieces in there. And hopefully I can get a blog post up that will tell you how to put this block together. So let me show you our other one. This is our other one. I didn't make any changes to it. I just switched out the blue for our light color. The contrasting fabric, I did yellow, and the red, I kept that red one. So here is our bright colored one. I think it's fun. I like how it ties it all in together. I actually think I kind of like our bright one this time better than this one. This one seems a little dull, but it's fun too. Okay, go home and make your own. You can turn it into a whole quilt if you want, or save it and put it with all your other blocks in our free block series. And one day we will be able to put together a sample quilt. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. I will get to them. I hope you have a great week and happy sewing.